Robert, first of all, just watching the replay of Keith's knee, it looked to be in a real bad way at the end of it. Did you sense right away? Did you hear a pop or anything like that?
You know what, man? Honestly, man, I had the choke. I was focused on that. I didn't see it, didn't feel it. To me, it was just me going for the submission, him tapping from it, to be honest. But like, I didn't see it until I saw the replay.
And how comfortable did you feel? You know, first time in the octagon, was this just another fight for you?
I get that all the time. You know, you're going to be in the UFC, it's going to be different, and there's going to be more pressure, and yada, yada, yada. Like, I honestly don't feel it, man. I feel as much pressure today as I felt when I was a white belt competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know, it was, to me, it's personal, so the fact that it's a bigger arena, more people watching, it doesn't really affect me, to be honest. So, no, man, like, I felt good in there, you know. It was a good camp. Everything went according to plan, and yeah, man, I can't say anything but thank my coaches and my training partners. Yeah.
Do you think that comes from the fact that you train so many big-name UFC guys already and that you have that comfort level there already?
It might be something to do with it. Like, I've walked that walk over there probably 100 times before I fought myself, you know. So because my career kind of went backwards, you know. I started as a coach and then became a fighter later. So, I mean, yes, I've been in the octagon 100 times, not fighting, but maybe that helps some. But I don't feel any. In fact, I probably feel less pressure today than I felt 5-6 years ago. You know, like I don't know if it's a maturity thing or you know, whatever it is. I train really hard. I take every fight very seriously. You know, and my first fight was an amateur fight. You know, and people like, what do you know, you're a world champion. What are you doing fighting amateur? And I wanted to know what it feels like to fight MMA. So I started amateur, and I trained for that fight like as if it were a title fight. Like, I mean, it would be a UFC title fight, and I would have trained the exact same way. So, like, that's kind of how I see the game. And it's not about the opponent of the arena. It's about how I see myself in there and how good I feel about being a fighter.
How good does it feel to finally be in here and get the UFC debut? Because obviously it's been a long time coming. You had the issue with the commission and all that kind of stuff. So how good does it feel to finally have this first UFC win under your belt?
It feels awesome. You know, like I'm always happy with every win. You know, like I see it as another step towards where, you know, towards my own personal goals. And you know, it's very gratifying, you know, to be in UFC. Like, sometimes I remind myself, this is the biggest organization on the planet. This is the Coliseum of our era. You know, it's a privilege and an honor to be here, and that's exactly how I see it. You know, some people work their entire lives to be in here, they'll never make it. You know, so to be in here, I certainly feel as a member of a very select group of athletes, and that's certainly very rewarding. I try not to let it go up to my head. I try to stay focused where it really matters, which is my development as a person, as a coach, as a fighter above all. You know, that's kind of where I put my energy. It's just getting better every day. That's the only rule in my gym. You have to be getting better every day. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Yeah, and then the light heavyweight division is kind of wide open right now. There's not too many guys like you who are really good on the ground. I mean, you kind of have a special style, fit in this division. How quickly do you think you can move up towards the top into maybe the top 10, top 5, that area?
I'm not thinking about that, to be honest. You know, like, it's whatever the UFC puts in front of me. Like, right now, I can go back the drawing board right now. I can think about things that went wrong in my camp. I can think about things that went wrong in, you know, whatever, in my weight cut or the warm-up or out there in the cage. And those are the things I'm going to try to put my energy into. Like, I'm trying not to think about too far ahead. You start thinking about too far ahead, you're not worried about the now, which is what really matters. That's all I can change.
Yeah, and then this was obviously another quick fight for you. All your wins would be in the first round. Is there any feeling that maybe you want to get a bit of a longer fight, test your cardio, or are you happy going out there and submitting the guys every time in 2 minutes?
I'll take the win every time it's there.
And how much did you really feel tested in there? Like, what do you feel that you really had to go back and evaluate from this fight, being it was so quick? You still haven't fought over 3 minutes.
Yeah. I'll have to look at the fight. Like, I know I missed the choke the first time, which is something I can always work on. Let me see. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again, to be honest. But, like, yeah, it's not that. I mean, look, I've been training my hands for the last 6 years. I know I can strike. But if I see an opportunity to win, I just don't see why, to prove it to the fans that I can do it. You know, like, I just don't see the point. I'm in here for the W. I'm in here to win. You know, I'm not here for anything but to prove it to myself that I can do it. So if I see an opportunity to win, I'm going to take it every time.
You're Brazilian. Would you like to fight in Brazil?
I would love to. You know, my first fight was scheduled for Brazil. I was really excited about that. You know, the thing is, most people in Brazil don't no idea that I'm half Brazilian, that I grew up there. My mom's Brazilian. But I have, you know, I probably look American. I have an American name. But, you know, I have a soft place in my heart for Brazil. You know, it's home for me as well. So I'd love to fight in Brazil one day. That'd be cool. You know, I'd probably walk out with a soccer team flag or something to get the crowd on my side. 'Cause I guess most people over there don't know that I'm half Brazilian. So I'll try to get the Brazilian fans on my side.
Robert, obviously a lot was made of the whole TRT issue going into this fight for you. Coming off of it, did your body respond in any negative ways? Some have had none? Not
at all, man. Like, I feel great, man. Like, this has probably been my best camp. I feel the best shape of my life. No, not really, man. I think I guess, like, I mean, in all honesty, like, I was on it for like a little over a month, you know, so it's not like it made a big difference to me. Like, I'm used to not being on it, so it's you know, it's fine. I'm fine. You know?
Was it important to you to also clarify, because I think a lot of people just assumed a failed drug test, that there was just, you know, it was on you, and you clarified that this was a clerical error. Was that?
Well, you know, the thing is, like, you know, the first thing I did was apply to the commission and the UFC. Like, this is before I even picked up my prescription. Like, they're fully aware of it. So when the random test came, I'm like, well, what's the surprise? You guys know, you know. And there was some, I guess, I don't know how to put this, but some. I put it as a bureaucratic issue. Like, I thought I had the license and I didn't, you know. So, but it was a bit of confusion there. But it's all in the past, and I'm happy to move forward. And I feel great. I really don't feel the effects of it. Like I said, I wasn't on it long enough to feel much of an effect, to be honest.
Was that an issue on your management, or was that on the commission that didn't file it? What were you told?
It's hard to say. Like, I probably my fault more than anything for not understanding the process. I put it like that. Like, I've said this before. Like, I will not take not an ounce of blame for dishonesty, because there was no dishonesty on my part. I would take some blame for not understanding the process.
So when would you like to get back in there? Obviously, you had such a long break going into this fight. Do you want to have your next fight really soon, or are you down for just whatever?
Right now, I just want to go home and see my daughters. I'll think about the fight. You know, I could take a couple days off, and you know what? I'll probably jump in and go back at the gym tomorrow, man. I'm fresh. I'm hungry, you know, so I'll probably get back to training tomorrow. I don't know about a fight. That's up to the UFC, really. But I'll probably sometime before the end of the year like to be fighting, but it's really not up to me.
As somebody who is so known for your BJJ, BJ Penn fighting in the main event tonight, how do you feel about him?
You know, it's funny because, like, we were at the weigh-ins, you know, BJ walked up and he gave me a hug because we started together. People don't know this, but I've known BJ since I was 16 years old, and we kind of started BJJ together. I went the BJJ route. After he did well in BJJ, he went MMA route, and so it's like he gave me a hug, like, Rob, it's great, we're fighting. We started together, now we're fighting on the same card. You're the first fight, I'm the last one. It's like, yeah, that's really cool. You know, I'm excited for him. He's a good friend. I have nothing but respect for Frankie, too. You know, I think it's a really tough fight, but, you know, BJ's my bro, you know, so I got him.
Who do you like between Jones and Gustafsson in September?
That was an amazing fight, man. Wow, I just hope it's as good as the last one. That's all I can say. You know, it's hard to say who's gonna, you know, it might be a very similar fight, you know, but I don't have any favorites, man. Like, you know, part of me, I love Jones' style. Part of me, I like when the guy who's like the underdog beats the champ. I kind of like that. So I have my, you know, maybe I prefer if Gustafsson won just because I like the belt being handed, like, you know, having it been in different hands like all the time, you know. So, but Jones is Jones, man. It's hard to say. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.